He's Nick Wright, host of First Things First on Fox Sports 1, What's Right with Nick Wright on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast, and host of No Gamble, No Future for Poker Go. How are you?
Great to see you.
Great to see you.
I have a message I have to convey.
Okay.
I got this text 7 minutes ago. I'm going to edit it for clarity and language.
Okay.
I effing love Dan P. I see you're about to bless him. That's too bleeping dope, first of all. Second of all, I love how you appear on shows. I'll skip that part. Let Fritzy know I'ma definitely have to go bar for bar with him one day. I feel like we would spend a lot of time saying, guess who that's from. So do you want to guess or should I just reveal it? I think this will be absolutely thrilling for Fritzy, and I think you will be pleased as well, Dan Patrick.
All right. Todd, would you like to guess who would like to sing with you or against you?
Frank Caliendo.
No, Frank Caliendo is not the answer.
Todd, that was terrible.
Katy Perry.
You think Katy Perry is texting me?
Yes, why not?
Let me tell you this. Katy Perry is much closer in fame and profession than Caliendo. That's a clue.
Okay.
Any other guesses, or should I just reveal it?
Paul?
Kenny Chesney.
Okay.
We're getting colder. Again, you got to keep in mind this is someone that I have a personal relationship with. I'm going to give you one more clue.
Okay.
I hugged this person in the last 72 hours.
Okay. Kanye West.
No, and if I was hugging Kanye, that would probably be something I wouldn't talk about publicly. But you are getting very warm now.
Okay. Dylan?
Jay-Z.
Ooh.
Very close. Should I just reveal it?
Marvin?
The person.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let Marvin, we'll go around the infield.
Nas?
No. I'm not quite. Nas a little too old, maybe. For not that just for me to have the personal relationship. This also is revealed. You guys don't follow me on Instagram. I guess that's fine, no problem. Huge fan of Dan Patrick. Person that wants to go bar for bar with Fritzy. My dear friend, the greatest rapper alive, Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, okay.
Wow. Lil Wayne. Yeah. Maybe he wants to stop by the man cave sometime when he's out east.
Yeah.
Come see you guys. So I thought you'd like to hear that, Dan.
Yeah. Lil Wayne, Big Fritzy, going toe to toe.
That's pretty awesome. That's not necessary, though. You all I got to say was Lil Wayne and Fritzy.
Okay, we can get to the regularly scheduled programming. I just wanted to pass that along.
All right, let me start with what's more interesting, the Lakers moving forward or LeBron moving forward?
LeBron moving forward. The Lakers, listen, I think the Lakers blew it. I think that when Luka's Lakers tenure is over, there is a greater than 50% chance that the best teammate he ever had was age 40 and age 41 LeBron James. And because the Lakers for the last 4 years have been seemingly annoyed at LeBron's refusal to fall off a cliff athletically and as a basketball player, that they have just been like, well, we'll address the team after LeBron. We'll address the team after LeBron. They were like, well, you can't expect us to have a team ready-made for Luka. We didn't expect to get Luka, except for the fact the exact type of players you need to put around Luka, you need to put around LeBron. Luka modeled his game after LeBron. And this year, listen, they got unlucky with injury, but was one of, when you have two guys suffer those types of soft tissue injuries, does that maybe not happen if you have a deeper, younger, more athletic roster around them? This year, last year, once they got Luka, they sat on their hands. And so I think that, and you know how much I love Luka, but I think the Lakers might be stuck a bit in what all of a sudden looks like such a deep and athletic Western Conference. Meanwhile, LeBron has some really interesting options on his hands. Maybe he stays in LA. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't, because I don't think that team has been particularly well run, but also because I want to see the version of LeBron we got to see in the playoffs at the end of his career, hand on the joystick, even if he needs to have another alpha scorer around him, like a Jalen Brunson or like a Donovan Mitchell. But I don't third option Swiss Army knife LeBron. He's too good for that role. He took that role on, Dan, because he can do that, and Luka and Austin couldn't. But that's not how I want to see it end for him.
Okay, but if you're going to place him outside of the Lakers,
Cleveland,
okay.
Harden gone, him there. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, listen, the Knicks maybe, but the Knicks might be. I mean, are the Knicks the greatest team ever? They have been for 2 weeks. I don't know. But I just the exact thing that the Cavs, in my opinion, foolishly brought James Harden in to be, second best player, offensive initiator. LeBron can do that without melting down twice a series in the playoffs. And while they play different aesthetically, Donovan Mitchell can do the exact Kyrie Irving stuff and Dwayne Wade stuff that LeBron is, a high volume, really good scorer alongside Bron. And then you have Allen and Mobley as really good, rim protection. Like, that team makes a lot of sense. And I don't think the Cavs are going to beat Detroit, so it'll just be another year without making the conference finals without LeBron on the roster.
You brought up Jaylen Brown.
Did I say Brown? I meant Jalen Brunson.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
If I said Jaylen Brown, I apologize.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Knicks or Cavs. There is a very not weird, but interesting Nuggets thing, because Bron is so tight with Stan Kroenke's son, Josh Kroenke, the owner of the Nuggets, Jared Dudley, who's another one of LeBron's guys on the coaching staff. He is exactly like, if the Nuggets really are just going to try to turn the offensive engine all the way up, LeBron, taking a little bit off Joker's plate, and being, Jamal Murray's the scorer, Joker's the do-it-all guy. That one's interesting, but I just don't think that's likely. I think it's probably Lakers, Cleveland, or New York, with a tiny chance Golden State, but I think tiny chance.
Talking to Nick Wright, host of First Things First on Fox Sports 1 and What's Right with Nick Wright on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, and host of No Gamble, No Future for Poker Go. Also, you got to factor in new management, ownership with the Lakers.
Correct.
With the Dodgers and their approach to things, does that change the Lakers' approach moving forward with spending money?
So I think it will, but I just don't think those... Listen, I believe Bron's going to play 2 more years. I think he's going to put in a smooth quarter century in the NBA and have that be the final piece of, I've given more to this game than anyone could have ever fathomed giving. So I just don't know if those types of changes impact, that quickly on that short of a timeline. Can I ask you... I'm going to be very sincere for a moment. Can I ask you a question? I'm going to. So I don't know if you listened to LeBron's whole press conference last night after the game or this morning, but he just kept talking about how his love of the process of getting to the stadium 5 hours before the game, getting to the stadium 3 hours before practice. And he was talking about that in the context of he'll know when it's time to retire, when he no longer loved doing that. So this is where, I'm just really actually curious about that. I think the audience will like it. I apologize for putting you on the spot here. As you've had this 50-year, 45-plus year broadcasting career, is one of the reasons you have shifted from different types of broadcasting because the process and the prep and the things that go into the other jobs no longer felt fulfilling to you, and it's just like this radio show, this thing is the thing that you still get super excited for? Because I heard him and I thought of you, and it wasn't just because I was coming on the show today.
I like the grind. I like the daily. I like, I come in on Saturday and Sunday when we're not even on the air. And I like that you just start something. What are we going to do with it? Who are we going to have on? What are the topics? It's 3 hours. And then you go home and then you start thinking about it again. So that every day is what always attracted me. I could never be a seasonal broadcaster where that's my sport and then I'm off. It has to be every single day.
And do you find, because that's the part I thought, and I thought I was like, man, I bet Dan's not just mailing in shows. It's not like, all right, listen, we all have, rough days or rough, I'm not saying that we're all 100%, but that one of the reasons you've done it for so long and still been into it is because you're not just flipping on the microphone and having Paulie tell you what's on the docket. Like, you're still your version of showing up to the stadium 5 hours beforehand. And so I heard him talking about it and I thought of you and I wanted to ask you that. I apologize if that's weird, but
no, because I think people are curious that, what are you getting out of it, not getting out of this? Why don't you want to continue? And I think my biggest fear is to not be great at the very end. If anything, we're more aggressive with these last 2 years than I've ever been with this show of what we're doing, where we're going, and I said I want to go out that way. I want to make sure that nobody thinks you're just kind of showing up, because then that would be the ultimate criticism, that it doesn't feel like you care as much. Probably care more and more, and I think. If it doesn't show on me or sound on me, then it doesn't, kind of trickle down to the Danettes where they need to know I'm excited. They need to know I'm happy about something, aggressive, fun, all of that. And I told them the last 2 years, it must be fun. We must have fun. And that's all I asked them to do. And I'm sure LeBron wants that. You want to go into an environment that is fun. Not I'm just picking up a paycheck.
To turn it back a bit, that is, I think, the best thing the Lakers have going for them is Bronny's gonna be a part of the rotation next year, and I think JJ Redick did an awesome job this year in this postseason. I think he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, I do too.
I think one of his only postseason missteps was, once Austin came back, Bronny, those beginning of the second quarter minutes Bronny was getting went to 0, which totally makes sense because of where he is in the hierarchy. What I think JJ didn't do the math on is, I think you were those 4 to 6 minutes a game getting not only peak focus, but a momentarily rejuvenated LeBron within kind of the toughest spot of games to stay into it, where he's tired, but it's not crunch time yet because of the excitement of playing with his son. And I think he also, his focus is always great, but I think it was extra hyper of man, if Bronny makes a mistake, I got to fix it. And I think that's just not there for Jake LaRavia. And so that's one, it wouldn't have changed this series, but that's one thing I kind of wish they had back.
Why do you think Steve Kerr came back to coach the Warriors?
I'm sure you know Steve. I don't know Steve at all. So this is blind speculation. My gut felt like he owed it to Steph. I mean, $20 million is probably nice or whatever they're paying him. But my gut is he said, I'm going to try to have Steph and I go out together. That's what I would imagine is the case.
You mentioned maybe a small chance LeBron would go to the Warriors. I like that idea. I don't know what they're going to do with Jimmy Butler. Durant's not going to last in Houston, right?
You think? They seem awful happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't... If David Stern were still around, rest in peace, I feel like he'd hold a press conference and be like, hey, by the way, funny thing, new rules for this year. If you're over 36, your contract doesn't count against the cap, and do with that what you will. But if that means Durant and Steph and Kawhi and LeBron all end up on one team and it's a traveling road show and they try to take on the mechanical but totally vanilla Oklahoma City Thunder, it's probably not bad for business, boys.
I'm trying to think how OKC gets into the conversation of great team of all time. Like what would they have to do where you go, okay, we can kind of put that
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Okay.
Because I think 3 in a row so this is something that I think is underrated, which is there is a direct line of history on how many championships can be won by a team or by a player. So if we just go through it, Russell era, what's the max? Well, I guess it's 11. In the 60s. 60s to 70s, what's the max? Havlicek, 8. Okay, 70s to 80s, what's the max? Kareem, 6. 80s to 90s, what's the max? Jordan, 6. 90s to 2000s, what's the max? Kobe, Duncan, 5. 2000s to 2010s, what's the max? Bron, Steph, 4. 2020s, nobody's got more than 1. Like everybody, and so as the league has gotten deeper and harder, like what the maximum realistic championships could be won is going down. Also, we haven't had anyone go back-to-back in a decade. So if OKC all of a sudden not only goes back-to-back, but wins 3 in a row when we haven't had that in a quarter century, I think it will be undeniable that they're just one of the most well-put-together teams ever and one of the greatest teams ever. Unfortunately, they're not going to because this year we all know the Timberwolves are going to win, so I can hit that bet.
And you put down $10,000 to win $2 million?
Well, listen, I'm in a few gambling consortiums, Dan, so I was the trigger man for that. But I don't own 100% of it, but I knew it was mispriced. They were saying it was priced like Anthony Edwards, had retired. There were 8 teams left. They were in round 2. Anthony Edwards suffered the same injury Giannis suffered. They were 200-1. The Lakers, who didn't have Luka and they were playing the Thunder, were 28-1. I thought Minnesota should have been around 25-1. They were 200-1. So I was going to bet it. I text my buddies. It's Kentucky Derby Saturday. Sports books got a lot going on. There's fights, Kentucky Derby. You got a square like me walking up to the window like, hey, give me $10,000 on the T-Wolves. They're like, yeah, we fill that. Now all of a sudden I got it locked away in a safe. They win tonight. Oh, boy, that equity's just getting higher and higher.
Thank you, Nick. Good to talk to you again.
You as well. I'll give Lil Wayne your best. Maybe we one time can do a 3-man weave, you, me, and him, talking a little football. It would be fun. Talk to you guys later. Be
Thank
safe.
you, bud. That's Nick Wright, host of First Things First, Fox Sports 1. What's Right with Nick Wright on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, and host of No Gamble, No Future on Poker Go. Lil Wayne wants a piece of you, Todd.
Let's go for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big deal. That's exciting.
Little rap battle between you two?
Rap battle.
Yeah.